Well, now you're getting close to the unicorn juror. Now let's add another layer, shall we? Just for kicks. What if
I think she's making this a little more complicated than it is. Uh, in something called voir dire is where attorneys and the prosecution get to question jurors. And one of the questions would it be undue hardship for you to sit on a 6 to 8 week, or let's even say a 12-week jury? Let's cover it that way. Would there be undue hardship? Would you lose your home because you didn't go to work? Would you lose your job? And if you answer yes, I would think that the prosecution and perhaps the defense would excuse you. So I think that Banfield's getting a little bit too dramatic here. The other thing when she talks about death qualified, that is absolutely true. That this jury, because it is a death penalty case, must be death penalty qualified. And what does that mean? That means you have to be okay with the death penalty. And if you're not, you will not be chosen for this jury. In essence, you have to be pro death penalty. And again, if you're not pro death penalty, you're not going to be chosen for a death penalty case. And then, of course, Banfield talks about holding the trial during the summer. And yeah, you're right. The University of Idaho, it's not closed. A college never closes. There's always classes during the summer. Not as busy, though. It won't be as busy in the summer as it is during the spring and the fall. And how about the town of Moscow, Idaho? What's that like during the summertime? And usually the period and the time when people go on vacation, are they going to have a hard time finding jurors because of that? I don't think so. I think Banfield's getting a little dramatic.
they decide to sequester this jury? You know what that means, right? It means you go from the courtroom to the hotel and you don't get to see your family typically.
You don't get to see your family, so you have to be sequestered because to be fair, to be a fair juror, so that you don't get to talk about the case or with your family, with your friends.
6
You don't get to hear the media reports on it, which is what she's doing right now. So yes, that could happen.
weeks, I say more. Goodbye summer 2024 for Latah County citizens, 12 of them, probably 16. This is a county of 40,000 people, folks, and many of them are university students. You know, the students that don't vote there, they don't pay taxes there, so they are not on the rolls for jury service there. So you can squash the 40,000 down to a lot fewer candidates. My God, how are you going to find candidates in a teeny tiny jury pool like that? Susan Constantine knows these problems well because she's a jury consultant, she's a trial strategy expert, she's a human behavior expert. She has consulted on some of the highest profile cases of our time, including Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Jackson. Need I say more? So you are perfect for this conversation. This all kind of came to me in like a fever dream. How on earth do they think they could possibly find summer vacation juries or a summer vacation jury, if they decide to do 6 to 8 weeks in July and August?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, Ashley, as you know, because we already got 40,000 is already whittled down to a very small number of people. And then on top of that, look at how many people are going to be on vacation, as you already stated. A lot of them are going to be going away on vacation with their family. You don't want to create any sort of hostile jurors that are forced to have to serve on this jury when they're not wanting to. So we can whittle away a whole lot of those people. And then, as you know, that in jury selection is not jury selection, it's deselection. So that process in itself is very tedious because on both sides, they have a specific profile of a juror they're looking for. They've done their pretrial intelligence. They have a really strong idea of what they want, what they don't want. And then we're trying to pull those out of that very small pool of people. I think it's going to be a very, very taxing and very difficult to do.
Thank you for watching.
So that's the jury consultant. But again, both sides gets to disqualify certain people from the jury that they feel The prosecution can disqualify folks that they feel will not be pro-prosecution. The defense gets to disqualify, and not just, they can't disqualify every single person. And there has to be a reason why someone gets disqualified. They can't just say, oh, I don't like the way that person looks. I don't want them on this jury. So what are some of the, when we talk about this case though, PhD in nutrition, I'm confused. Being death qualified, being biased to some extent. PhD in nutrition, what death qualified means that you must be able to find a person guilty when you understand that it is a death penalty case, and the person could potentially receive the death penalty. And if you are morally opposed to the death penalty, then you will not be chosen as a juror on a death penalty case. If you believe that that's bias, you're being asked ahead of time whether or not you could serve and what your views are on the death penalty. So if you said, I'm against the death penalty, I could never find someone guilty in a death penalty case because I'm morally opposed, then you wouldn't be chosen for this jury. Is that bias? I don't think it is. I mean, you're being asked ahead of time. So no, I don't think it's bias. So